Tonight, we're exploring why Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen were my favourite remakes. This will lay the groundwork for their newest refresh on the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. For those of you who've been joining us consistently, I want to thank you for being such an integral part of our channel. If you're falling asleep with us tonight, let me know in the comments how many nights in a row you've been here. And if this is your first night, just comment day one. Now let's get back to the video. Close your eyes for a moment and travel back to the late summer of 2004. Imagine the weight of a Game Boy Advance in your hands, the tactile click of the power switch, and that iconic, high-pitched chime that signaled the start of a journey we thought we already knew by heart. For many of us, the Kanto region wasn't just a setting in a video game, it was the foundation of our childhood imagination. It was the tall grass of Route 1, the hushed whispers of the Pokémon Mansion, and the formidable silhouette of Indigo Plateau. But by the time the early 2000s rolled around, those memories were fading into the monochromatic blur of the original Game Boy's green-tinted screen. The batteries in our old cartridges were dying, our teams were locked in a past we couldn't easily revisit, and the world of Pokémon had moved on to the vibrant, weather-beaten landscapes of Hoenn. We were at a crossroads where the history of the franchise risked being left behind. Then came Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. These weren't just simple ports or cash-in sequels, they were a profound act of preservation. They were the first time Game Freak looked back at its own legacy and asked how to make the perfect version of a masterpiece. Tonight, we're going to immerse ourselves in the quiet, nostalgic beauty of these definitive remakes. We're going to explore why FireRed and LeafGreen stand as the gold standard for how to breathe new life into a classic without losing its soul. This isn't just a breakdown of game mechanics or a list of version differences. This is a deep dive into the lore, the atmosphere, and the enduring magic of the Kanto region reimagined. Whether you're using this as a companion for a restless night or a peaceful journey through your own memories, let the soft sounds of the tall grass and the rhythmic hum of the Poke Center take you back. We are returning to Pallet Town, but this time the world is wider, the colors are deeper, and the secrets go far beyond the shores of Cinnabar Island. The stakes of these remakes were higher than most players realized at the time. In 2004, the Pokémon franchise was in a delicate period of transition. Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire had introduced incredible new features like abilities and natures, but they had also severed the link to the past. For the first time, players couldn't transfer their beloved companions from the original titles. The bridge was broken. FireRed and LeafGreen weren't just games, they were the bridge builders. They had to reconcile the technical limitations of the 90s with the sophisticated engine of the third generation. They had to fix the notorious glitches and balancing issues of the original red, blue and green, the psychic type dominance, the broken critical hit ratios, the inventory clutter, while making sure that the feeling of stepping out into the world for the first time remained untarnished. If they failed, the origins of Pokémon might have stayed locked in a buggy, inaccessible past. If they succeeded, they would create a timeless template that the series would follow for decades to come. But as we peel back the layers of these games, a deeper mystery begins to emerge. Why does Kanto feel so different in these versions? It's more than just the updated graphics or the orchestral arrangements of Junichi Masuda's legendary score. There is a sense of expansion that feels both new and ancient. We find ourselves asking, what was Team Rocket really doing in the shadows while we were busy collecting badges? What secrets were hidden in the Sevi Islands, a massive archipelago that never appeared in the original games? And how do these remakes tie the lore of the first generation to the wider mythology of the Johto and Hoenn regions? FireRed and LeafGreen did something remarkable. They suggested that our first adventure was only a small piece of a much larger puzzle. They turned a linear quest into a sprawling epic of discovery. As we settle into this journey, we will walk through the misty forests of Viridian, brave the haunted corridors of Lavender Town, and sail across the sparkling southern seas to find the treasures of the Ruby and Sapphire. We will examine the philosophy behind the game design, the subtle changes to the narrative, and the way these titles captured a sense of wonder that still resonates 20 years later. The sun is setting over the mountains of Indigo Plateau, and the wind is picking up across the water, and a new adventure is about to begin in a very familiar place. It is time to rediscover why these were the perfect remakes. It is time to return to the world of Pokémon. Think about the sheer audacity of returning to Kanto. By 2004, the world had changed. The original players had grown up. The children who had spent their 1998 summer obsessing over Mewtwo were now teenagers or young adults. The world of Pokémon had expanded to include 251, then 386 species. To go back to the original 151 was a risk. Would it feel small? Would it feel dated? Game Freak's solution was a masterstroke of design. They didn't just give us the same game with a coat of paint. They gave us the game as we remembered it in our minds, rather than how it actually existed on the hardware. The original Red and Blue were beautiful in their simplicity, but they were also chaotic. They were games built on the edge of technical collapse, where a single wrong move could lead you to the glitchy shores of missing Nubber Fire. Red and LeafGreen took that raw, unpolished energy and refined it into something elegant. They introduced the Teachy TV for newcomers and the Fame Checker for lore enthusiasts. They added the Sevi Islands to ensure that the journey didn't end with the Elite Four. This was the first time we saw the concept of a post-game truly flourish in a remake, setting the stage for every title that followed. As we drift deeper into this narrative, we will look at the specific lore of the Sevi Islands, the way they serve as a geographical and narrative link between the Kanto we knew and the Johto we loved. We will talk about the remnants of Team Rocket, the tragic backstory of the Pokémon Mansion, and the quiet, lonely beauty of the three-island berry forest. There is a specific kind of peace found in these games, a balance between the excitement of the battle and the serenity of exploration. So let the world outside fade away, adjust your blankets, find your most comfortable position, and prepare to embark on a journey through the tall grass. We are going back to where it all started, to the town where the wind blows white and the journey never truly ends. This is the story of the Kanto region, reimagined. This is the story of the perfect remakes. On January 29th, 2004, in the quiet hum of Tokyo's arcades and game shops, something extraordinary stirred for Pokémon fans around the world. Game Freak unveiled FireRed and LeafGreen, the very first remakes in the core series, breathing new life into the Kanto region that had captivated hearts since 1996. These weren't mere ports or sequels, they were a loving resurrection, pulling the original Red and Green, later known internationally as Red and Blue, into the colourful dawn of the Game Boy Advance era. Japan felt the tremor first, with North America following that September, Australia in late September, and Europe at the turn of October. Sandwiched between Ruby and Sapphire and the looming Emerald, these titles marked a bold pivot, proving Pokémon could honour its roots while reaching forward. Or would you step into Pallet Town as that silent protagonist? A blank slate of ambition with no name spoken aloud, no voice to betray your dreams. It's a place suspended in pastoral serenity, a cluster of red-roofed homes nestled against rolling green hills, the salty whisper of the sea nearby, and Route 1 stretching out like an invitation to destiny. Professor Oak's lab hums with the soft whir of machinery, Pokeballs gleaming under the fluorescent lights. He's there, that kindly old researcher with his white lab coat and unyielding curiosity, his grandson Blue smirking in the corner, all cocky energy and unspoken challenge. You've overslept your 10th birthday, the day every kid in Pallet aches for, and now the moment arrives. 3 Pokeballs on the table, each pulsing with potential. Bulbasaur, the verdant seed pod creature, he's sturdy and wise beyond its years, its bulb a promise of vines that could ensnare foes and blooms that heal the weary. Charmander, flickering with an inner flame, its tail a fragile lantern against the dark, destined to roar into Charizard's skies. Or Squirtle, the resilient turtle with water cannons primed, armoured shell evoking ancient seas. Your fingers hover, heart pounding in the silence. No words needed, for your choice echoes through the story itself. Oak watches, nodding approval, while Blue snatches the one you didn't pick, his eyes narrowing. Smell you later, he tosses over his shoulder, already plotting his edge. That rivalry ignites right there, in the warmth of the lab, a thread that will weave through every badge, every league battle, pushing you both toward the pinnacle. The Game Boy. Advance in your hands feels like magic compared to the original Game Boy's ghostly green monochrome. Those 1996 sprites, blocky, shadowy figures, flickering on a dim screen, burst into vibrant life. Pallet Town's grass sways in pixelated breezes, rendered in lush greens and earthy browns. The sun casting dynamic shadows that dance across Oak's fence. Charmander's flametail glows a fierce orange-red. Squirtle's shell gleams azure under the light. Bulbasaur's bulb textured with subtle veins pulsing green. Sound swells too. The triumphant fanfare of your first steps, upgraded to layered chiptunes, crisp and nostalgic yet polished. The rustle of wild Pidgey in tall grass, now a symphony of feathers and wind. Every encounter pops with colour. Viridian Forest's leaves, a canopy of emerald, Ijon the lab's interior alive with beakers bubbling in sapphire blues. It's Kanto reborn, not replaced, every pixel a bridge from fuzzy memories to sharp reverie. Blue's shadow looms larger than ever from the start. You chase him north to Viridian City, that bustling hub with its Pokémon Center's red roof, like a beacon for weary trainers. He vanishes, but his taunt lingers, fueling your stride toward Pewter City. The path winds through soft earth and fluttering Rattata, your starter growing bolder with each victory. Then the Pewter Gym. Brock awaits, his rocky arena lit by stark spotlights, onyx coiling like living stone. That first badge, the Boulder Badge, isn't just metal, it's validation, pinned to your chest as proof you're no longer the kid from Pallet. Blue's already claimed his, of course, leaving a rival's note. He's one step ahead, always hungering for that top spot Grandpa Oak promised only to the strongest. This dream of Pallet Town pulls you in deeper, layer by layer, the silent bond with your Pokémon, the rivalry's electric tension, the world's edges sharpening into focus. But what happens when those foundational sparks meet the refinements that turn raw potential into flawless execution? That's where we head next, into modernizing a masterpiece, uncovering how FireRed and LeafGreen polished every flaw without losing the soul. As you clutch that fresh Pokeball from Professor Oak's lab, your starter Pokémon bursting with potential, the screen lights up in vibrant colour, a far cry from the ghostly greens of the original Game Boy. Game Freak didn't just remake Kanto, they rebuilt it on the Game Boy Advance's 32-bit powerhouse, leaping from the clunky monochrome pixels of 1989 hardware to a canvas bursting with layered sprites, dynamic animations, and fluid battles that feel alive under your fingertips. Picture the original red and green, squeezed onto a screen smaller than your palm, every wild encounter, a flicker of stark shadows, and beeps that echoed through bulky headphones. The Game Boy Advance changed everything. Its ARM processor hummed at 16.8 MHz, pumping out 60,000 colours, where the old dot matrix managed just 4 shades of grey. Sprites scaled up smoothly, no more pixel stretch glitches when you zoomed into a Pokémon Center. Battle screens expanded, letting moves like Thunderbolt crackle with branching lightning and particle effects, while the overworld map rendered Viridian Forest's canopy with swaying leaves that rustle in the digital breeze. This wasn't a port, it was a resurrection. Every tile of Cerulean City polished to evoke that 1996 thrill, yet playable in the palm of your hand during a 2004 commute. To ease you into this upgraded world, Game Freak unveiled the help system, a gentle hand extended to trainers who grew up on Ruby and Sapphire's complexities. Press a button and pop-up hints whisper strategies mid-battle, why your Squirtle resists that fire punch, or how to pivot against a rival's Pidgeot sweep. But the real gem sits in Pallet Town, Teachy TV, that quirky television in your mum's house, beaming lessons from a cartoon Professor Oak. Tune in, and he breaks down type matchups with animated flair, reenacting the infamous psychic versus fighting oversight from the old days, all while a chibi Pikachu cheers you on. It's Game Freak's nod to a new generation, those kids trading their Game Boy colours for GBA links, bridging the gap so you never feel lost amid Kanto's badge quest. They wove in Generation 3's mechanics without shattering the nostalgia, a delicate alchemy that kept the soul of 1996 intact. Dark and Steel types slither into the Pokedex, turning ghosts like Gengar into battlefield tyrants and flipping Brock's Onix into a mere speed bump for your Charmander's Metal Claw dreams. Abilities awaken in your party. Your starter might hold Blaze, igniting Ember into a desperate inferno when health dips low, or your wild catches boast run away for those hasty retreats from Route 1 Rattata swarms. Natures shape every leveled up ally, a timid Venusaur shying from spotlights, while an adamant Charizard charges headlong. Evolution streamlined too, no more trading headaches for Haunter without a friend nearby. The link cable hums and it happens right there on one island. Yet Kanto stays pure. 151 Pokémon fill your regional decks pre-game. Badges demand the classics like Misty's Starmie Cascade, and Blue's taunts still sting from across the Pokémon League lobby. Even the soundscape evolved subtly, trading raw 8-bit chiptunes for orchestral MIDI swells that linger like a half-remembered lullaby. The original's Victory Road theme, pierced with piercing square waves, a chiptune warble that drilled into your skull after hours grinding. FireRed and LeafGreen reimagine it. Strings swell over bass pulses, flutes weave through Lavender Town's fog like spectral whispers, and the Elite Four's fanfare builds with timpani rolls that make your heart race anew. Pallet Town's melody floats softer now, harp-like arpeggios evoking lazy summer dawns, while Silph Co's elevator Muzak pulses with synthetic brass, heightening the tension as you climb to face Giovanni's Persian. It's nostalgia amplified. Familiar hooks layered with GBA's 4-channel polyphony, drawing you deeper without drowning the original's charm. This modernization touched every corner, from the Sevi Islands post-game paradise, those 7 emerald archipelagos unlocked after your champion crowning, teeming with Johto imports like Totodile frolicking in Kindle Road Surf, to quality of life whispers like the running shoes toggle and bag reorganization on the fly. Trade with Emerald, aid snag a Beldum from Steven, or hunt legendaries like Mewtwo in Cerulean Cave, its roars echoing richer through upgraded speakers. Game Freak fixed the unseen fractures too. No more missing number glitches warping your save, no trade evolutions stonewalled by absent friends, balancing the era's wild ambition with 2004 precision. Yet beneath this gleaming polish, echoes of 1996's raw edges remain, flaws that FireRed and LeafGreen so masterfully patched. What broken mechanics begged for this rescue, turning a pioneering dream into a flawless revival? That's the unravelling we'll trace in Chapter 3, the broken mechanics of 1996, where Kanto's original stumbles reveal just how far we've come. While the Game Boy Advance wrapped Kanto in vibrant colours and crisp sprites, breathing new life into routes and battles alike, it also gave Game Freak the canvas to rewrite the rules that had crumbled under the original game's weight. You see, back in 1996, Pokémon Red and Blue arrived on the monochrome Game Boy, not as a flawless blueprint, but as a raw prototype bursting with potential, and equally bursting with flaws that turned every playthrough into a gamble. Picture the early days of your journey from Pallet Town. You pick Charmander, eager to carve your path through Viridian Forest, only to slam into the invisible walls of the game's design. Bugs lurked everywhere, ready to crash your progress. Step into the wrong surf spot on Cinnabar Island, and missing no glitches your save file, duplicating items until your bag overflows with junk data that bricks trades forever. Or battle a wild Pokémon in the right sequence on Cerulean Gym's roof, and the game freezes solid, stranding you mid-adventure. These weren't minor hiccups, they were fractures in the code, born from a tiny team racing against deadlines on primitive hardware, where one misplaced bite could unravel hours of catching and training. But the glitches were just the surface cracks. Deeper still lay the mechanical heart that beat unevenly, favouring a handful of Pokémon while dooming others to irrelevance. Take psychic types. They weren't just strong, they were gods among insects. Alakazam swept the Elite Four with effortless psychic blasts, while Mewtwo loomed as an untouchable apocalypse. Why? The type chart was a house of cards. Ghost moves, meant to shred psychics, did nothing due to infamous programming oversight. Ghost was coded to hit psychic for 0 damage, a leftover error from rushed development. No dark or steel types existed to counter them either, leaving trainers scrambling with normal attacks that barely scratched. Your carefully bred Starmie or Kadabra could dismantle Giovanni's Nidoqueen lineup without breaking a sweat, turning the Pokémon League into a parade of purple dominance. It felt exhilarating at first, like wielding forbidden power, but soon it exposed the game's brittle balance. Psychics won titles, while everything else scraped for scraps. This imbalance seeped into the stats themselves, nowhere more evident than the infamous special stat. In Red and Blue, Special handled both offense and defense for fire, ice, electric, water, grass, and psychic moves, a single number dictating a Pokemon's entire special arsenal. Build a special attacker like Zapdos, and its defenses crumble under a rival's Thunderbolt. Craft a tank like Cloyster, with high special, and suddenly it's frail against its own Mirrorcoat reflections. No nuance, no trade-offs. Venusaur tanks special hits from the skies, but folds to a single Hydro Pump, while Jolteon zaps foes from afar, only to shatter like glass in return. Trainers adapted with convoluted strategies, stacking EVs on that one overloaded stat, praying for level grinds to compensate. But it bred frustration. Competitive battles devolved into psychic mirrors, or normal type spam, where the deeper you delved, the more the system's simplicity strangled variety. Game Freak knew this. Whispers from their internal playtests echoed the need for separation, but Generation 1's constraints locked it in place. Worse yet were the move pools, those overlooked arsenals that left entire species gathering dust in your PC. Pinsir, the mighty trapper with vice-like horns, debuted with a laughable kit, mostly normal moves like Bind and Seismic Toss, and no rock or bug coverage to exploit its typing. You'd grind it through Victory Road, only to bench it against Sabrina's Psychics or Blaine's Fires. Haunter haunted the shadows of Pokemon Tower, but couldn't learn Shadow Ball or even a decent special ghost move, stuck spamming Lick for pitiful damage, vanishing unevolved because trade evolutions demanded perfect strangers. Jigglypuff puffed up with hype as a starter contender, yet its mover list screamed mediocrity. Sing to sleep foes, then pound them awake, no fairy precursors or status synergies to shine. These weren't design choices, they were oversights, from a Pokedex rushed to 151, where move tutors and TMs couldn't patch the gaps fast enough. Your dream team withered, bugs obsolete, poisons neutered, flyers grounded, turning Kanto's roster into a pyramid of viability. With legends at the peak and fodder at the base, FireRed and LeafGreen didn't just remake Kanto, they rebuilt it from the silicon up, serving as the ultimate patch for 1996's foundational sins. The special stat splits at last, Special attack for blistering blasts, special defense for enduring them, unleashing symmetry. Your Jolteon now zaps with precision while shrugging off blizzards, and Venusaur blooms into a verdant fortress. Dark and Steel types crash the party, with Bite carving through psychics like butter, and Magneton resisting the onslaught that once felled it. Ghost moves fixed, now haunting as intended, while abilities layer unpredictability, Levitate shielding for Claydol, soundproof silencing Sabrina's echoes. Move pools expand like wildflowers after rain. Pinsir guillotine clamps with Aerial Ace and Brick Break. Haunter evolves seamlessly with Shadow Punch and Destiny Bond. Jigglypuff charms with expanded status webs. No more unusable relics. Every Pokémon finds purpose, from casual catches to competitive cores. Glitches? Banished to Legend, stable code ensures your surf sessions summon allies, not abominations. These weren't flashy additions, they were surgical corrections, blending Generation 3's polish with Kanto's soul, making Red and Blue's chaos feel like a distant, thrilling memory. As battles evolve beyond raw power into intricate dances of type, ability, and prediction, you'll sense the true revolution brewing, one that reshapes every matchup in ways the originals could only dream of. That's where we head next in Chapter 4, the strategic revolution, where Kanto's remade fields become a chessboard of endless possibility, pulling you deeper into tactics that demand your every thought. With the glaring dominance of psychic types finally addressed through that overdue split of the special stat, FireRed and LeafGreen took the overhaul even further, ushering in a strategic revolution that transformed every battle in Kanto into a chess match of hidden depths. You step out from Pallet Town, your starter Pokémon at your side, but now each one carries secrets baked into their very essence, natures and abilities mechanics straight from the Huen games, making their debut in this familiar region for the very first time. Picture your Charmander, not just any Charmander, but one with a jolly nature, quietly boosting its speed while trimming its special attack, turning it into a nimble striker that darts ahead of foes before they can react. Natures like that, subtle modifiers drawn from Ruby and Sapphire, infuse every catch with personality, nudging stats up by 10% in one area while docking another, forcing you to weigh every wild encounter like a collector curating a living arsenal. That Pidgey you snag on Route 1 might be adamant, pumping its attack for brutal wing attacks, but softening its special defense, making it a glass cannon against special sweepers. No longer are Pokémon interchangeable blanks. They're individuals, their temperaments shaping team synergy in ways the original games never dreamed. You feel it early as you grind levels near Viridian Forest, realizing that a timid nature on your Squirtle lets it outpace Brock's Onix, withdrawing into its shell just a heartbeat faster to unleash a bite that lands before retaliation. But natures were just the foundation. Abilities elevated the strategy to another plane, granting Pokémon passive powers that activate in the heat of battle, rewriting matchups across Kanto's gyms. Your Bulbasaur evolves into Ivysaur with Overgrow. Its grass moves surging 20% when health dips low, turning desperate defenses into verdant counteroffensives. Rattata scurries with Runaway for escapes, but catch a Guts variant, and a status like Paralysis fuels a berserk facade, hitting harder than ever. These weren't gimmicks, they were game changers, imported wholesale from Generation 3, demanding you scout hidden traits through battles or trades. In the underbelly of Mount Moon, a Geodude with Sturdy clings to one hit point against your starter's fury, buying time for a rock throw comeback that nearly ends your run right there. Whilst then came the new types, Dark and Steel, shattering the psychic supremacy that had haunted the originals. Dark types slithered in as Psychic's hard counter, immune to those once unstoppable moves, their presence rippling through every gym like a shadow over Saffron City. Sabrina's Lair, once a psychic fortress where Alakazam and Mr. Mime dictated doom with psychic blasts, now crumbled under the fangs of your Murkrow or the imported Houndour from the Sevi Islands postgame. You teleport into her domain, the air thick with illusory spoons bending reality. But a bite from your freshly evolved Umbreon nullifies her Kadabra's Psybeam entirely, the immunity flipping the script as her team panics, resorting to weaker thunder waves that your Steel type absorbs like rain on tin. Steel itself armoured up the meta, resisting a dozen types including the rock onslaughts from Brock's gym, where your Magnemite, now a true Steel with magnet pull, traps his Onix, shrugging off Rock Tomb while zapping with Thunderbolt. Erica's Grass Haven felt the sting too, her Vileplume wilting against Dark's bug resistance, while Blaine's Fire Pit turned perilous, with Steel's immunity to poison lingering from Koga's toxins. Giovanni's Earth Badge showdown climaxed differently now. His Raiden, pounding with Earthquake, met your Skarmory's Steel Wings, slicing through ground weakness, turned neutral by clever switching. Abilities like Rockhead, letting it recoil-free Drill Peck right back. These types didn't just balance the wheel, they injected peril into routes you'd memorized, like Route 8's wild Golbat Phlox, now dark weak to your fighting types, or Steel Birds, shrugging off Ice Beam ambushes near Cerulean. Held items sealed the evolution, tiny trinkets clutched in Pokémon claws that bent iconic clashes into tactical masterpieces. Berries auto-heal mid-fight, leftovers trickle health on switches, and choice bands lock attacks for double damage. But it's the Silph Company. Rival battle where the revolution sings. There he stands, blue, on the executive floor, amid flickering screens and rocket grunts fleeing, his Pidgeot now clutching a citrus berry that restores a quarter health when battered low, staving off your knockout blow just long enough for a devastating aerial ace. His Alakazam grips a twisted spoon, amplifying Psychic by 20%, but your Steel-type Fortress with Metal Coat tanks it, retaliating with a Mirror Coat reflection that leaves him reeling. No more predictable poundings. His Gyarados swallows a Mystic water-boosted Hydro Pump, surging when you least expect, forcing switches into your grass types healed by their own Chesto berries. That elevator ascent to face him feels electric now. Every floor, a prelude to mind games, where items turn his overconfidence into openings you exploit. Even traversal got smarter, with the running shoes handed over by Blue himself after your first badge, a deceptively simple toggle with the B button that lets you sprint across Kanto's overworld without tapping blindly. No more plodding slogs through Viridian Forest's tall grass, or endless backtracks from Cerulean to Bill's Lighthouse. You dash fluidly, the world blurring as Pikachu badges glint on your pack, slashing travel time by half, and letting battles breathe amid exploration. It redefined the pace, turning Kanto from a marathon of monotony into a rhythmic journey, where you zip to Pewter Gym, shoes thumping softly, only to grind to a strategic halt against Brock's Geodude, now wielding a quick claw for priority strikes. This strategic layer wove seamlessly into Kanto's fabric, preserving the nostalgia of badge quests and rocket takedowns while demanding foresight you never needed before. Your team evolves not just in levels, but in composition. Nature's aligning with abilities, types countering gyms afresh, items tipping scales in Silph's shadows. Yet as you emerge from these refined skirmishes, equipped and emboldened, darker threats stir in the caverns ahead. Whispers of fossils and unseen eyes pulling you toward Chapter 5, Shadows over Mount. Moon, where the revolution meets something far more primal. With your Boulder badge secured and your Pokemon's natures and abilities sharpening their edge against Brock's rock-solid lineup, the path ahead twists into the foreboding mouth of Mount. Moon, where the strategic revolution we've just explored truly tests its mettle in the dim underbelly of Kanto's first true dungeon. Gone are the stark, monochrome tunnels of the original Red and Blue, where every cave pixel bled into the next under the Game Boy's unyielding green tint. FireRed and LeafGreen, bathe these depths in a masterful palette of twilight blues and earthy umbers, with dynamic lighting that flickers from your trainer's flashlight, casting long, wavering shadows across jagged stalactites and glistening walls. It's not just prettier, it's atmospheric alchemy. The Remakes Game Boy Advance engine layers subtle gradients, turning what was once a flat, monotonous crawl into a living labyrinth that pulses with hidden menace, where pockets of deeper darkness hint at unseen eyes watching from the gloom. You press forward, Zubat swarms echoing their shrill cries off the stone, Geodude tumbling from ledges with newfound abilities like Sturdy keeping them stubbornly upright. But it's the fossils that draw you deeper, relics embedded in the cavern walls, like forgotten secrets of a bygone era. In the originals, they were mere items to pluck and ponder later, but FireRed and LeafGreen weave them into the lore's ancient heartbeat. Dome Fossil and Helix Fossil, or Old Amber for Aerodactyl, whisper of Pokémon long extinct, creatures that once roamed Kanto's surface before Cataclysm buried them in these very depths. Omanate is spiralling through prehistoric seas with its tentacled shell. Kabuto, armoured enigma scuttling across primordial shores. Aerodactyl, the pterosaur terror slicing skies with razor wings. These aren't just revivable prizes for Cinnabar's lab down the line. They're mysteries incarnate, evoking the Pokémon world's vast, untold history. What wiped them out? Volcanic fury from a slumbering Cinnabar? Ancient wars between titans? The caves themselves seem to hold the answer, their dripping echoes like the ghosts of roars long silenced. And then, the flicker of a flashlight. Not your own cuts through the haze. Suspicious figures in black uniforms, emblazoned with that crimson R, huddle around a cracked wall, chisels striking sparks as they pry at the stone. Your first brush with Team Rocket, Giovanni's grunts. At the fresh-faced thieves whose criminal empire is only now revealing its jagged edges. No grand manifesto yet, just opportunistic scum, barking orders in hushed tones. Boss Giovanni wants these fossils for the lab, prime stock for our experiments, one sneers. His Rattata bared in threat. They're not trainers seeking badges, they're poachers, stealing nature's heirlooms to fuel a syndicate that twists Pokémon into tools for profit and power. You challenge them your team, bolstered by those dark and steel revelations, clashing against their underleveled Sandshrew and Voltorb. Victory scatters them, but not before you snag a fossil of your choice, a tangible trophy from this inaugural clash that brands Team Rocket as Kanto's underbelly scourge. Deeper still, the air thickens with an otherworldly hum, leading to a chamber bathed in ethereal glow. There, atop a pedestal shrouded in mist, rests the Moonstone. Luminous orb pulsing with lunar essence, key to evolving the Clefairy that dance in hidden nooks nearby. But the grunts return, emboldened, swarming the prize under direct orders from their elusive boss. Giovanni says this stone's ours. Imagine the cash from evolved Pokémon auctions. Protecting it becomes your solemn charge. Battles unfolding in the Remakes' enriched visuals, where the stone's light refracts off wet cavern floors, turning the fray into a spectral ballet. Steel types shrug off their normal attacks. Dark edges blunt their psychic tricks from pilfered Pokémon. Nature's tilting odds with calm precision or adamant fury. Snatch the stone before they do, and you safeguard not just an item, but a thread in Kanto's fragile balance, wild Clefairy left to their moonlit rights, Team Rocket's greed checked for now. These encounters cement Mount, Moon as more than a Pokémon gauntlet. It's the narrative forge where FireRed and LeafGreen elevate the original skeletal threats into a shadowed symphony. The enhanced dungeon design, those colour-drenched shadows, the layered soundscape of dripping water and distant scrabbles amplifies every step's tension, making the cave feel alive, predatory. Fossils evoke eons of extinction's shadow. Rocket's debut stains the adventure with moral grit, and the Moonstone standoff weights your choices with consequence. You've pierced the mountain's heart, emerging into Route 4's sunlight wiser, your bag heavier with secrets. But whispers from the northern paths speak of a town wrapped in perpetual twilight, where the air carries cries no living Pokémon should utter, drawing you toward Chapter 6, the Lavender Town, haunting, and the spectral enigmas that await. As you step out from the echoing depths of Mount Moon, clutching that ancient fossil pulsing with forgotten life, the road north winds through Cerulean's sparkling cape toward a town veiled in perpetual fog. Lavender Town greets you not with the bustle of trainers or the cheer of markets, but with an unnatural hush, broken only by the distant toll of a bell that seems to mourn rather than mark time. In FireRed and LeafGreen, the Game Boy Advance breathes new life into this spectral corner of Kanto, swapping the original's stark monochrome for layered shades of grey mist that swirl across your screen, while the sound design layers in subtle, haunting winds that carry faint cries, echoes refined from the infamous Lavender Town syndrome melody, now polished to pierce the soul without overwhelming the senses. You feel it immediately, that chill settling in as you approach the Pokémon Tower, its silhouette looming like a jagged tooth against the overcast sky. This isn't just a building, it's a mausoleum for fallen Pokémon, a place where trainers leave headstones etched with names and memories. But something's wrong, terribly wrong. The entrance crawls with unseen presences, blocking your path with invisible barriers that warp the air. Your Pokémon lash out at phantoms, but you see nothing. Hear only their frantic barks and the low ethereal hum rising from the stone. A FireRed and LeafGreen elevate this dread through crisp sprite animations. The ghosts flicker into view as mere silhouettes at first, their forms dissolving like smoke, accompanied by a reworked soundtrack that pulses with dissonant chimes, drawing you deeper into the unease that made the original games whisper of things beyond the veil. Word spreads in hushed tones among the townsfolk. The tower's ghosts have grown restless, fiercer, ever since a certain tragedy unfolded. It starts with a lonely Cubone, that masked orphan wandering the foggy outskirts, its cries piercing the night like a child's sob. You might catch it there, skull helmet gleaming dimly, battling wild Pokémon with a desperation that tugs at your heart. Follow its trail, and whispers lead you to the tower's base, where a grieving figure clutches a bone club stained with sorrow. This is no ordinary Cubone, it's driven by loss so profound it refuses to rest. In the remakes, the encounter hits harder. The GBA's colour palette paints its earthy tones in muted browns against the lavender haze, and its sprite animations convey a slump-shouldered gait, every step heavy with unspoken pain. Climb higher, if you dare, past the generic ghastly line, drifting like will-o'-the-wisps, their poison gas trails rendered in swirling purple wisps that linger on screen. The air thickens at the 5th floor, where the true spectre awaits, a ghostly Marowak, translucent yet fierce, its bone club raised in eternal vigilance. She doesn't attack blindly. There's rage in her empty eyes, a mother's fury. Defeat her, and she fades not into defeat, but into sorrowful dissipation, all leaving behind a silence that echoes louder than any battle cry. FireRed and LeafGreen don't shy from this moment. The updated graphics make her form shimmer with otherworldly glows, her attacks landing with sharper sound effects that crack like thunder in a crypt, pulling you into the gravity of her unrest. The townsfolk speak of Mr. Fuji, the kindly elder who vanished into the tower's heights, seeking to calm these spirits. Your quest pulls you away briefly into Celadon's glittering underbelly, where Team Rocket's hideout hides more than stolen Pokémon. There, after navigating laser grids and grunt ambushes, you wrest the Silph Scope from a defeated scientist's grasp, a device humming with eerie blue light, its lens promising revelation. Return to Lavender, and everything changes. Peer through it, and the invisible horde materializes, Ghastly's grinning maws, Haunter's clawing shadows, even a rare Gengar lurking in corners, its eyes like bottomless voids. The remakes transform this tool into a narrative fulcrum. The scope's activation animation pulses with static, bridging the tangible world of badges and battles to Kanto's hidden spiritual layer, where Pokémon don't just faint, they linger, unbound by flesh. Armed with clarity, you ascend to the summit, battling through floors alive with spectral swarms. The tower's interior, once a pixelated void, now features textured stone walls veined with glowing ectoplasm, flickering torchlight, casting long shadows that dance with your every step. At the top, Mr. Fuji cowers amid the headstones, surrounded by restless haunter. Free him, and he shares the tale that binds it all. That Marowak was Cubone's mother, slain by poachers, Team Rocket thugs, hungry for rare hides and bones to sell on the black market. Her spirit refused to pass, haunting the tower to protect her child, transforming grief into a guardian wrath. In return, Fuji entrusts you the Poke Flute, its melody, a balm for sleeping Snorlax ahead, but more importantly, a key forged from loss. This is Lavender Town's haunting at its core, the tragic bond between Cubone and its undead mother, a story woven into Kanto's lore that FireRed and LeafGreen illuminate without alteration, yet with atmospheric depth that the original could only hint at. The updated soundscape layers Marowak's battle theme with hollow bone rattles and distant wails, while the visuals let her ghost phase through walls in fluid motion. Her club swings trailing luminous arcs. It's a masterstroke of remake fidelity, preserving the mystery that spawned endless creepypastas while enhancing the immersion to make you question what else hides in Pokemon's shadows. And it proves something profound about the series. Amid the joy of catching and training, Kanto dares to dwell on death, not as glitch or afterthought, but as a mature thread. Pokémon fade, families fracture, spirits cling to the living world. FireRed and LeafGreen don't sanitize this. They amplify it, using Gen 3 polish to let the tonal shift land like a weight on your chest, reminding you that victory often tastes of melancholy. The tower isn't cleared, it's pacified. Marowak's ghost banished only after you honor her pain, leaving Cubone to wander forever changed. As the fog lifts slightly and you descend, and flute in hand, the path forward gleams with new purpose, but danger brews in Saffron City, where Team Rocket escalates their ambitions. In the next chapter, the Silph Company. Siege, you'll storm the heart of their corporate conquest, facing a war zone of lasers, master balls, and a showdown that tests every bond you've forged. What secrets will the scope reveal amid the chaos? Stay with me as we breach those gleaming towers. As the echoes of Marowak's spirit fade from Lavender Tower, you press onward towards Saffron City, the gleaming heart of Kanto's urban sprawl. But something's wrong. The massive steel gates sealing the city shut a chilling blockade, guarded by sneering Team Rocket grunts who block every road and path. You can't just walk in anymore. Rocket's shadow has lengthened, and transforming from cave ambushes and fossil thefts into a full-scale invasion. They've set their sights on Silph Company, the towering corporate giant that dominates Saffron's skyline. A 50-floor monolith of glass and steel, buzzing with innovation and Pokémon research. You fight your way through the outskirts, battling grunt after grunt, their Pokeballs unleashing waves of Raticate and Zubat in the dim underpasses. Finally, a hidden passage cracks open the gate, and you step into a city under siege. Silph Co looms ahead, its lobby a war zone of shattered desks and flickering lights. Rocket operatives swarm the halls, their black uniforms stark against the sterile white walls. This isn't some ragtag raid. Team Rocket has orchestrated a corporate coup, floor by floor, turning the company's own technology against it. Elevators jammed, and security systems hacked, scientists held hostage. They've locked down the entire building, demanding total surrender. Giovanni, the enigmatic boss pulling the strings, isn't after loose change or rare fossils this time. His ambition burns hotter. Deep within Silph's labs, they've developed the Master Ball, a technological marvel unlike any Pokeball before it. Sleek, violet, and impossibly precise, it captures any Pokemon with a single throw. No struggle, no escape. 100% success rate. Giovanni craves it not just for his collection, but to forge unbreakable chains over every Pokemon in existence. Imagine an army bound by these spheres, loyal only to him, powering his dreams of domination. Control the balls, control the world. Rumours swirl in the captured corridors that he's already scheming beyond Kanto, eyes fixed on legends that could shatter reality itself. You plunge into the chaos, the building's labyrinth unfolding like a mechanical nightmare. Silph Company isn't a straight climb. It's a puzzle of teleporters, those glowing warp panels embedded in the floors, humming with unstable energy. Step on the wrong one, and you're flung to a distant level, disoriented amid patrolling rockets. The layout taunts your every move, a web of 11 main floors interconnected by these portals, each warp sending you spiraling to allies or enemies in unexpected corners. You rescue a trembling scientist on the 3rd floor, only to warp to the 7th and face a Rocket Elite 4 trainer barking orders. Backtrack through a panel on the 9th, dodge executives turn traitors on the 5th. It's maddening precision, demanding you map every glow, every hum, turning navigation into a cerebral battle as fierce as any gym. Deeper you go, the air thickens with tension. Rockets experiment on captured Pokemon in hidden labs, their cries echoing through vents. You free hostages who whisper of Giovanni's fury, his Viridian gym facade cracking under the weight of his true empire. Team Rocket's threat escalates here, from petty thieves to a syndicate capable of toppling industry titans, their influence choking Saffron's pulse. Allies appear in flickers, Silph employees with weakened Pokemon, patching you up between teleports. Each warp panel solved peels back another layer, revealing executive suites ransacked, prototypes smashed, the company's lifeblood drained. At last, the top floor beckons, the 11th level, a penthouse showdown. Giovanni awaits in the president's office, his Persian at his side, all eyes cold as Kanto steel. He doesn't mince words. The Master Ball is his prize, key to his grand design. But whispers from the scientists hint at darker ties. That violet orb's perfection stems from classified research, echoes of Project Mewtwo, the cloned legend, born in shadows far from public eyes. A Pokemon of godlike power, unbound by nature's limits. Giovanni seeks the Master Ball to ensnare such beasts, to wield them as weapons of absolute rule. You clash in a symphony of commands, his Rhydon charging, Persian slashing, but your team, forged through Kanto's trials, stands firm. Victory rips the Master Ball from his grasp, a single prize amid the rubble. Silph Co breathes again, gates reopening, Saffron saved. Yet Giovanni slips away, his laughter lingering like smoke, vowing the war's far from over. In Team Rocket's corporate siege marks their peak menace, a declaration that no vault, no boardroom, no invention is safe from their grasp. But as Saffron heals, whispers draw you south, toward the volcanic haze of Cinnabar Island, and the enigma waiting in its depths. What buried secrets smoulder there, pulling at the threads of creation itself. Chapter 8 awaits. Before we dive deeper into this incredible journey, I'm curious, where in the world are you watching this from? Drop a comment below and let our global community know. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button to help more people discover this story. With Team Rocket's grip on Saffron City shattered, and Giovanni's dreams of mastering every Pokemon through that elusive Master Ball slipping away, you sail westward across the sea, the salty spray of Kanto's waves carrying whispers of an island forged in fire. Cinnabar Island emerges on the horizon, its active volcano belching plumes of ash into the twilight sky, a smouldering jewel that draws trainers like moths to a flame. This is no ordinary outpost. It's a place where the Earth's fury mirrors the hubris of those who dared play God with Pokémon life itself. You step onto the black sand beaches, the ground warm beneath your feet, even through your shoes, heat rising in shimmering waves from fissures that snake through the terrain. The air hangs heavy with sulfur, a pungent reminder that Cinnabar thrives on the edge of catastrophe. Palm trees sway lazily, their fronds casting jagged shadows, while the Pokémon gym squats at the island's heart like a forgotten temple, its doors sealed by a puzzle only the cleverest can unravel. Blaine, the master of fire and enigmas, doesn't hand out badges for brute strength. No, he tests your mind first, turning his gym into a labyrinth of riddles etched into the walls, each one a brain-teasing gauntlet that forces you to choose the right path through locked doors and flame-trapped corridors. Picture the moment you enter. The air thickens with the roar of contained infernos, Torkoal and Magmar silhouettes flickering behind grates. Blaine's voice echoes from speakers, gravelly and teasing, posing questions drawn from Pokémon lore itself. What weighs more than a ton, carries bubbles lighter than air? You ponder. Select your answer on the console, and a door grinds open, revealing another chamber pulsing with heat. Fail, and you're shunted back, the flames licking higher, as if mocking your misstep. This quiz-based trial, refined in FireRed and LeafGreen, transforms the gym battle into a cerebral conquest. A perfect evolution from the originals where you simply walked in and fought. It's Blaine's way of weeding out the reckless, ensuring only those who respect the intellect behind Fire's dance earn his volcano badge. But Cinnabar's true enigma lurks not in the gym, but in the ruins just beyond. The charred skeleton of the Pokémon mansion clinging to the volcano's slope like a scar that refuses to heal. You push through its shattered doors, flashlight beam cutting through suffocating darkness, the floor crunching underfoot with layers of ash and fallen beams. Vines choke the stairwells, and the walls whisper secrets in faded ink. Journals left behind by researchers who tampered with forces beyond their grasp. This isn't just a burned-out shell, it's a tomb of ambition, where the remakes peel back layers of lore hidden in the originals, inviting you to piece together the catastrophe that birthed legends. As you navigate the creaking halls, dodging patches of weakened floor that give way to lava tubes below, you uncover the first diary. Dr. Fuji's meticulous notes, his handwriting trembling on pages singed at the edges. He writes of isolation here on Cinnabar, chosen for its seclusion and geothermal power to fuel experiments no mainland lab would touch. Fuji, a visionary haunted by loss, sought to conquer death itself, cloning extinct Pokémon from ancient DNA. His early triumphs flicker in the entries. A Ditto, like that amorphous pink blob, born not as a joke but as a breakthrough, a perfect mimic engineered to copy any form. Yet success soured quickly. The clones rebelled, their unstable genetics sparking fires that rage uncontrollably, consuming the mansion in a blaze that scarred the island forever. Deeper in, amid overturned desks and shattered glassware, more journals reveal the abyss they stared into. Mew, the mythical ancestor of all Pokémon, its genetic codes smuggled here in secret. Fuji and his team spliced it relentlessly, chasing perfection, but birthed monstrosities, failed prototypes that twisted into abominations before dissolving or erupting in flame. One entry chills the spine. A chamber where embryos pulsed in tanks, glowing with unnatural light, until one broke free, its psychic fury shattering the facility. Yet the air still hums with residual energy, Poliwag and Grimer skittering nervously through the debris, as if sensing the echo of that rage. FireRed and LeafGreen expand this environmental storytelling masterfully, every cracked wall and cryptic note hinting at Mewtwo's cataclysmic birth, the world's strongest Pokémon, forged in these very flames, its escape a harbinger of storms yet to come. You linger in the laboratory's heart, the final diary clutched in your hand. Fuji's words fading into despair. He mourns the lives lost, the Pokémon reduced to gooey failures like Ditto, shapeshifters cursed to imitate, but never truly live. The Doctor's grief drove him to Lavender Town later, to the Pokémon Tower, seeking solace in Marowak's ghost and Cuboni's tears, but that's a shadow cast from here. Cinnabar stands as the pivot, where human arrogance ignited not just the mansion, but the fuse for Mewtwo's vengeance, a thread weaving through Kanto's tapestry, pulling tighter with every step you take. Blaine awaits your return from the ruins, his eyes gleaming with unspoken knowledge behind those thick glasses. He knows the island's scars intimately, his riddles perhaps veiled nods to the experiments he witnessed from afar. The battle that follows is an inferno of strategy, Arcanine lunging through curtains of flame, Rapidash kicking embers that scar the arena floor. Your team tempered now by natures and abilities the remakes bestowed, turning raw power into precision. Victory yields the badge, and with it, clearance to return to the mainland. But Cinnabar's heat lingers in your veins, a warning that true power devours its creators. As the ferry cuts back through the waves, the volcano's glow fading astern, you sense the final trials converging. Chapter 9, The 8th Badge and the Boss, beckons from Viridian's Shadow Gym, where Giovanni lurks with secrets that could unravel everything you fought for. What hidden ace does the Rocket Leader hold, and will it force a reckoning like no other? With the chilling echoes of Dr. Fuji's journals still lingering in your mind, from the smouldering ruins of the Pokémon Mansion, you step out onto Cinnabar's volcanic shores. The salty sea air, a welcome cleanse after those dark revelations about Mewtwo's tortured birth. Your 7th badge secured from Blaine's fiery trial. Only one remains, the elusive 8th from Viridian City Gym, the one that's tantalized you since the very beginning of your journey. How when you first arrived there as a wide-eyed novice and found its doors firmly shut. You board the ferry back to the mainland, the waves lapping rhythmically against the hull as Kanto unfolds before you once more. Fuchsia City fades in the distance, its Safari Zone adventures a fond memory, and soon Viridian's familiar skyline rises, towering trees framing the urban heart where your quest truly sparked. The city feels different now, charged with an undercurrent of finality. Trainers whisper on the streets about the gym finally reopening, their eyes wide with speculation. You push through the double doors of Viridian Gym, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and something sharper, more primal, like the musk of wild beasts barely contained. The interior hits you like a Rhydon's charge. Unlike the other gyms with their puzzle-laden flair, this one sprawls as a colossal arena of rocky terrain, boulders scattered like forgotten titans, vines creeping along cracked walls under dim, spotlit beams. A single figure stands at the far end, silhouetted against a backdrop of shadowed cages, his presence commanding silence from the grunts lining the edges. You step forward, Pokeballs at the ready, heart pounding with the weight of 7 badges earned through sweat and strategy. He turns and the world tilts, that stern face, those piercing eyes framed by a shock of dark hair. Giovanni, the ruthless architect of Team Rocket's empire, the man whose shadow you've chased from Mount, Moon to Silph Company, unmasked as Viridian City's gym leader. The revelation lands like a thunderbolt from Zapdos itself. This isn't just a gym battle, it's the culmination of every rocket scheme thwarted, so every stolen Pokémon liberated. Giovanni's voice booms across the arena, steady and unyielding, laced with the arrogance of a king dethroned yet unbroken. He acknowledges your persistence, calls you a thorn that's grown into a dagger, but there's no rage, only cold calculation. He summons his team not as partners, but as instruments of dominance, Pokémon reduced to weapons in his grand design. Rhyperior? No, in these remade fires of Kanto, it's his signature lineup, refined by modern might. Nidoqueen first, her bulk quaking the ground as she charges with earth power, steel-type edges gleaming under the lights, thanks to those Generation 3 upgrades that make every clash feel alive, visceral. You counter, your own team forged in bonds of trust, each command a whisper of partnership, not decree. Giovanni scoffs at your style, his philosophy laid bare in the heat of battle. Pokémon, he declares, exist for the strong to wield, tools to carve empires from chaos, their strength harvested like ore from the earth. To him, they're not companions with dreams and fears, but extensions of power, pawns in a game where weakness is culled. Your Pikachu dodges a Machamp's brutal cross-chop, retaliating with Iron Tail that sparks off reinforced plating, natures, and abilities turning the tide. Your loyal fighter's adamant grit piercing his calculated assault. He rotates to Kingler, claws snapping like vices, then Raiden, whose rock slide rains boulders that crunch underfoot, forcing you to weave through the debris, every evasion a testament to the trust you've built. The clash deepens with each exchange, words flying sharper than any hyper beam. A Giovanni presses his creed. In a world of survival, sentiment is a chain, and only those who command without mercy rise. You feel the truth of your path in every Pokemon's determined cry. Bulbasaur's evolutions that bloomed from a gift of friendship. Pidgeot soaring on winds of freedom, not subjugation. His Nidoqueen falls to a precisely timed earthquake from your own grounded ally, the ground splitting in a roar that shakes dust from the rafters. Giovanni's composure cracks just a fraction as Raiden topples next, its massive frame crumpling amid pebbles and defeat. The air grows heavy, the grunts shifting uneasily, sensing the Empire's fracture. Finally, his ace unleashes, a Persian with claws like scythes, Sucker Punch feints exploiting the new Dark-type menace that FireRed and LeafGreen wove so seamlessly into Kanto's fabric. But your strategy prevails. Abilities like Intimidate sapping its fury, nature's aligning for that perfect thunderbolt finisher. Giovanni stands alone as the last Pokeball dims, the arena silent save for the distant drip of water from cracked stones. He concedes the Earth Badge, its earthy gleam heavy in your palm, the 8th and final seal on your mastery. But victory carries a deeper cut. He vows to abandon his gym leader title, disbanding Team Rocket's stranglehold on Kanto entirely. No more fossil heists, no Silph Co invasions, no whispered plots in shadowed warehouses. The boss's final stand crumbles, his operations dissolving like mist at dawn, leaving Viridian and all Kanto freed from his grip. You emerge into the sunlight, badges glinting on your case like stars aligned. No longer just a kid from Pallet Town chasing dreams, but a proven force, eyes set on the Pokemon League Championship. Professor Oak's voice crackles over the Pokegear soon after, his pride evident as he upgrades your Pokedex to national scope, unlocking horizons beyond these familiar shores. The path ahead gleams with promise, every step echoing the bonds that carried you here. But the true summit beckons, and in our next chapter, Chapter 10, The Road to the Elite Four, you'll face the fog-shrouded ascent to Indigo Plateau, where champions are forged and legends await their test. With Giovanni's Viridian badge finally yours, Team Rocket's shadow lifts from Kanto like fog burning off under the morning sun. Your Pokedex chimes its triumphant note, all 8 symbols etched in glowing approval. Professor Oak's voice crackles over the Pokegear one last time, his words heavy with pride. Yeah, you've proven yourself. The Pokemon League awaits. North of the city, the sea-misted slopes of Victory Road rise like a sentinel, guarding the Indigo Plateau. This isn't just a path, it's the gauntlet that breaks most trainers before they even glimpse the Elite Four. You step into the shadowed mouth of the tunnel, the air turning cool and damp, laced with the echo of dripping water and distant roars. Victory Road stretches for what feels like miles, a labyrinth carved from sheer rock faces, riddled with crumbling ledges and hidden switches that grind stone against stone when triggered. Trainers lurk in alcoves, their eyes sharp, Pokemon coiled for ambush, Onyx slithering from cracks, Machops hurling boulders that shatter on impact. Every battle tests your team's stamina, Forcing rotations, your healing items rationed like precious water in a desert. The wild Pokémon grow fiercer with each chamber, graveler detonations shaking the ground, wild Golbats swarming in leathery flocks, their supersonic cries disorienting you in the gloom. Puzzles demand wits as much as strength, pressure plates sink under your weight, revealing false walls or flooding chambers with sudden geysers. One wrong move, and you're sliding into pits swarming with Zubats. Their wings a frantic blur. Hours blur into a haze of sweat and strategy, your flashlight beam cutting through the perpetual twilight. But deeper in, the air heats, carrying a sulphurous tang, embers flickering on the breeze. You've reached the inner sanctum, perched on a jagged throne of cooled lava, wings like molten sails unfurled. Moltres stirs. The legendary firebird of Kanto, guardian of this forsaken forge. Its cry splits the cavern, a screech that rattles your bones, flames erupting in a halo around its form. This isn't a mere wild encounter. Moltres tests your resolve, diving with wing beats that fan hurricane gusts, skies ablaze with fireblast infernos. Your team must dance through the blaze, water types steaming under pressure, electrics crackling against the heat. Capture it if you dare, that ultra ball trembling in the scorch, or let it soar free, a fiery omen of the trials ahead. Emerging from Victory Road, blinking into the crisp plateau air, the Pokémon Center's red roof beckons like salvation. Nurses heal your battered squad, but rest is fleeting. The league gates loom, marble pillars etched with every badge you've earned. Beyond lies the Colosseum, where the Elite Four await, not as myths, but as the unbreakable pinnacle of Kanto's power. You steel yourself, mind racing through strategies honed across the region. These aren't gym leaders with type specialties. They're masters who've conquered continents, their teams forged in secrecy. Lorelei greets you first, her icy domain, a frozen arena where breath mists and footing cracks underfoot. The Cinnabar native commands the chill with surgical precision. Dugong gliding on ice slicks, Cloyster clamping with vice-like shells, Jinx weaving psychic barrages amid blizzards. Her Lapras, the sea serpent of legend, surges with surf waves that crash like Arctic tempests. Ice resists so little, demands perfect counters. Fire melts her domain, fighting shatters her guards. Victory chills the air further, but Lorelei nods respect, her voice a whisper on the wind as she steps aside. Bruno follows, the hulking warrior from the fighting dojo, his chamber a sweat-soaked pit ringed by iron braziers. Muscles rippling under scarred skin, he unleashes raw power, Onyx coiling like living steel, Hitmonchan jabbing with comet punches, Poliwrath grappling in seismic tosses. His Machamp, four arms, a whirlwind of fury, tests your evasion, like nothing before. No tricks here, just brute force demanding steals to endure, psychics to outmaneuver, flying types to soar above the fray. Bruno roars approval in defeat, pounding his chest, a brother in battle yielding the path. Then the shadows deepen, Agatha emerges from the gloom, the elder ghost whisperer whose eyes gleam with spectral hunger. Lavender Town's reclusive crone commands the unseen, Gengar cackling through hypnosis fogs, Golbat draining life in flurries, Haunter phasing through attacks like smoke. Her Arbok coils with glares that paralyze the soul, but it's her Gengar that haunts dreams. Shadow balls exploding in eerie violet bursts. Ghosts fear few, but you pierce the veil with dark pulses or grounded fairies. Wait, no. In this era, it's raw ground and psychic clashes that banish her shades. Agatha cackles softly in retreat, her parting words a chill prophecy. The dragon awaits. Lance, the dragon master of Blackthorn lineage, crowns the four in a cavern lit by glowing scales. His cape billows like wings, Dragonite hovering majestic, the pseudo-legend that defies physics with hyperbeam cataclysms. Gyarados thrashes seas into storms, Aerodactyl shrieks from prehistoric skies, Dragonair weaving coils of dragon rage. Lance's voice booms with draconic fervor, each command summoning raw elemental fury. Ice and dragons clash in crystalline roars, electrics grounding the flyers. Your preparation pays in thunderous triumph. Lance kneels, the final barrier shattered, door to glory swinging wide. But as you stride into the champion's chamber, sunlight piercing stained glass, shock freezes you colder than Lorelei's arena. No empty throne. Your rival, Blue, Oak's grandson, the smug prodigy who shadowed your every step, stands there, pokeballs glinting, a smirk twisting his features. He's already conquered the league, claimed the title through his own ruthless path. Charizard roars at his side, the ace that's mirrored your journey but burned brighter. This isn't just another rivalry battle. It's personal. Every gym grudge reignited, his Pidgeot diving, Alakazam warping reality, Raiden quaking the floor. Blastoise shells barrages, Venusaur vines entangle, and Charizard's flamethrower rivals, Moltres itself. You trade blows in a symphony of roars and explosions, strategies unraveling until his empire crumbles. Blue yields with gritted respect, the crown yours at last. Oak arrives, Pokedex upgraded to national scope, whispers of horizons beyond Kanto. Champion of the Indigo Plateau, your name etched eternal. Yet as the adrenaline fades, a ferry ticket materializes from Celio in one island, hinting at uncharted seas. Your saga swells outward. In Chapter 11, the Sevi Islands expansion, hidden gems, rocket remnants, and legendary whispers await. Will you chase them into the tropical unknown? You've emerged victorious from the Pokémon League, your team battered but triumphant after outmaneuvering Lorelei's icy arsenal, Bruno's raw power, Agatha's ghostly whispers, and Lance's draconic fury. The title of champion sits heavy on your shoulders, a quiet validation of every badge earned and rival surpassed. But as the credits fade and Professor Oak hands you the national Pokedex, a subtle chime echoes through your screen. One island beckons, the first stepping stone in a chain of 7 hidden gems scattered across the sea, collectively known as the Sevi Islands. These islands weren't part of the original Kanto dream. Back in the days of Red and Blue, the mainland was your world, a compact loop of routes and towns that ended abruptly at the champion's throne. FireRed and LeafGreen shatter that finality. You board the ferry from Vermilion City, salt spray stinging your face as the horizon swells with unfamiliar silhouettes. One island materializes first, a lush paradise cradling Kindle Road's volcanic trails and Mount Ember's smouldering peak. Here, the air thickens with the scent of sulphur and wildflowers, and Lost Elle, a wayward girl, vanishes into the island's depths, pulling you into a rescue that feels both urgent and otherworldly. Two Island follows swiftly, its sleepy village of Boone Island hiding the joyful game corner, where prizes tempt with rare candies and moonstones. But beneath the surface calm, Three Islands Bond Bridge sways under the weight of Dunsparce sightings, and a bike shop upgrade that finally equips you for the adventures ahead. These initial trio, 1, 2 and 3, serve as your gateway, unlocked only after the Elite Four falls. They're not mere side quests, they're the bridge that extends Kanto's shoreline, transforming a concluded story into an open-ended odyssey. You sense it immediately, the way the map expands, routes curving eastward toward uncharted waters, whispering promises of secrets long buried. As you delve deeper, the Sevi Islands reveal their true ambition, to stretch Kanto's lore far beyond those sacred 151 Pokémon. The original games confined you to the familiar roster, Mewtwo's shadow, the grandest enigma. Now, the national Pokedex pulses with potential. Johto natives roam free, Chikorita grazing in meadows, Cyndaquil sparking along beaches, Totodile splashing in hidden coves. You trade for Smeargle in Artisan Cave, its paintbrush tail capturing strokes of wild creativity, or hunt for legendary birds like Zapdos perched on the Cerulean Cave's distant cliffs, accessible now through these island chains. You picture the thrill of encountering Lavender on Icefall Cave's slippery ledges, its rocky hide crunching underfoot, or Blossom blooming from oddish evolutions unlocked by the island's tropical climes. These aren't random additions, they're woven into the fabric of expansion. The Sevi chain pulses with life. 4 Islands Icefall Cave hides the ruby. 5 Islands Lost Cave echoes with deceptive voices. 6 Islands Pattern, bush teams with bug-catching frenzy. And 7 Islands Tanabe Ruins challenge you with puzzle chambers guarding the sapphire. Each island layers new quests onto Kanto's tapestry, from rescuing kidnapped Pokémon on 5 to decoding ancient runes on 7, all while Team Rocket lurks in the shadows, their remnants scheming from Icefall's depths. At the heart of this expansion throbs a profound mystery, the Ruby and Sapphire gems. You first hear whispers on one island from Celio, the reclusive researcher in his Treasure Seafoam PC lab. His machine, meant to link distant regions, lies dormant, fractured by the absence of 2 legendary artifacts. The ruby gleams crimson from 4 Islands Icefall Cave, clutched by Lorelei herself in a tense standoff where her Lapras glides through frozen waters, her voice carrying the weight of an elite 4 members' hidden life. She entrusts it to you reluctantly, her gaze lingering on the gem's inner fire. The sapphire mirrors it on 7 Island, buried in Tanabe's chambers, after navigating a labyrinth of numbered ruins. 1 through 7, each door a riddle solved by wild Pokémon encounters. These gems aren't mere MacGuffs, they're shards of cosmic power, pulsing with the essence of distant lands. Slot them into Celio's device, and the screen flares to life, bridging Kanto to Hoenn. Suddenly trades flow freely, with Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald. Zangoose snarls alongside Seviper. Beldum floats in from Meteor Falls. The lore thickens here, hinting at primal forces that dwarf Giovanni's ambitions. Why do these gems resonate across oceans? Legends murmur of ancient guardians. Regirock, Regisea, Registeel, slumbering in Hoenn's ruins, their energy echoing through the ruby's glow. FireRed and LeafGreen plant these seeds subtly, expanding Kanto not just geographically, but mythologically, tying the original region's roots to the broader Pokémon cosmos. Yet as you sail these waters, collecting gems and thwarting rocket grunts who plot to seize the linking machine, a larger shift stirs beneath the waves. The narrative pivots eastward, eyes turning toward Johto. Professor Oak's radio broadcasts grow cryptic, mentioning a land of spinning towers and burning towers, where starters hail from new professors, and legends, like the legendary beasts, roam misty peaks. The Sevi Islands become your proving ground for this transition, battling Elite 4 rematches on the waves, unlocking Mewtwo's lair anew, even glimpsing the Orange League's echoes in trainer tales. It's a deliberate tease, the post-game content, heralding Generation 2's arrival. Gold and silver loom on the horizon, their engines fueled by Kanto's enduring legacy, but remade fresher through these island voyages. You felt it in every ferry horn, every gem's resonant hum. The Sevi Islands don't just extend the map, they redefine completion. What was once a finish line becomes a launch pad, Kanto's lore blooming into a prelude for greater tales. And just when you think the seas have yielded all, reports filter in of rocket activity stirring once more. Their insignia, flashing in Sevi's underbelly. That resurgence pulls you back into the fray in Chapter 12, the rocket resurgence, where old enemies refuse to fade and new threats coil in the dark. As you push deeper into the Sevi Islands chain, leaving behind the berry fields and icefalls of Islands 1 through 3, a shadow stirs on the horizon. 5 Island emerges first, its Tanabe chambers whispering secrets of ancient ruins. But it's the underbelly of this tropical paradise that draws your attention. Whispers from locals on 4 Island point you here, tales of shady figures lurking in the shadows of the resort gorge, or men in black uniforms with an R emblazoned on their chests. Team Rocket, you think they've crumbled after Giovanni's defeat in Viridian Gym, scattered like ash from a defeated Charizard. Yet here they are, remnants clinging to life, plotting in the damp confines of the rocket warehouse, hidden beneath the island's sleepy surface. You descend into that warehouse, the air thick with the hum of machinery and the metallic tang of desperation. Grunts patrol the corridors, their magma and coughing, belching smoke that stings your eyes, but you press on, badge case heavy at your side. Deeper still, past laser-trapped doors that hiss open like venomous fangs, you uncover their scheme. Radio towers jury-rigged from scavenged parts pulse with unnatural energy, broadcasting waves designed to twist the very essence of Pokémon evolution. Graveler hauled in from distant caves writhe under the assault, their forms bulging unnaturally, on the verge of becoming Alakazam or Golem without the need for trades or stones. It's a forced metamorphosis, raw and violent, the signals warping their cells like a storm ravaging a fragile coastline. This isn't just petty theft anymore. It's an assault on nature itself. The executives reveal themselves one by one, shadows stepping into the flickering light of control panels. Proton, the sly poison tactician, with his wheezing clouds choking the air, guards the initial relays. Petrel, master of mimicry, his Kecleon shifting forms to confound you in a hall of illusions. Ariana, fierce with her Arbok coils that squeeze the breath from your team, blocks the amplification chambers. And then, at the heart, Archer, the cold strategist, his Houndoom's flames casting hellish glows on banks of throbbing equipment. Tall and imperious, his voice cuts like a blade through the static. Team Rocket will rise again, using this technology to mass-produce powerhouses, an army of evolved beasts under their command. You battle through them, your Pokémon dodging arcs of purple energy that crackle from the towers, the ground trembling as signals overload. Archer's defeat shatters the core transmitter, sparks flying like fireworks in the confined space. The executives fleeing into the night with vows of return. But you don't stop there. 6 Islands Pattern Bush hides another cell, water shrouded in fog, where they experiment on aquatic lines, Goldeen thrashing wildly under submerged emitters. 7 Islands Mount Ember rumbles with their final outpost, the volcano's heat amplifying the waves, magma evolving into something monstrous mid-fight. Each victory peels back layers of their plan, a network spanning the islands, funded by stolen gems you're racing to reclaim. Feel the weight of it as you climb those scorched slopes, lava bubbling nearby, the executive's taunts echoing off cavern walls. Archer coordinates from afar, his hologram flickering in hidden bases, revealing the scope, a prototype for something bigger. Waves that could rage across regions, turning lakes into cauldrons of fury. It echoes in your mind, a red-scaled serpent thrashing in distant waters. But for now, you sever their lines, the hum dying to silence. The final blow lands in the Icefall Cave's depths on 5 Island, where the last transmitter crumbles under your assault. Radio silence falls, evolutions reverting, Pokémon collapsing in exhaustion as the forced power drains away. With the warehouse in ruins and the executives routed, Archer's last glare promising unfinished business, Team Rocket's grip on Kanto snaps for good. No more Silph Co sieges, no more gym infiltrations. Their Kanto saga closes amid the salty spray of Sevi shores. You emerge into sunlight, the island's birds wheeling overhead. Gems secured, but a chill lingers. Those executives, scattered yet scheming, hint at horizons beyond these waves. Stay with me as we unlock the next layer in Chapter 13, the National Pokedex and Johto ties, where Kanto's borders blur and your Pokedex awakens to secrets that bind regions forever. With Team Rocket's radio signal finally jammed on 7 Island, their twisted scheme to force unnatural evolutions on wild Pokémon scattered to the winds. You sail back to Celio's lab on 1 Island, the sea air still thick with the salt of victory. Celio, his face lit by the glow of his machinery, clasps your shoulders in relief. Professor Oak chimes in through the video link, his voice crackling with excitement. They've been waiting for this moment. Your Pokedex hums to life as they upload the upgrade. The National Dex, a digital bridge spanning not just Kanto's 151 natives, but the burgeoning roster from Johto and beyond. It's more than an expansion, it's a revelation, unlocking evolutions your Pokémon never knew they craved, paths forged in the heart of another region's lore. Take that gloom you've carried since Pallet Town, its bulbous form heavy with untapped petals. Back in the old days, it stopped at Vileplume, a sturdy poison powerhouse, but now, with the National Dex active, a sunstone, gleaming like captured sunlight, triggers something extraordinary. Feed it to gloom, and watch as it blossoms into blossom, its leaves twisting into a skirt of vibrant green, hips swaying in a rhythmic dance that echoes the festivals of Johto's sun-drenched plains. No trade required, no glitchy workaround, just pure mechanical magic, courtesy of this upgrade. You feel the thrill pulse through your veins as the animation plays out on your Game Boy Advance screen, petals shimmering in pixels that capture the sway of tropical winds. Then there's Onyx, that serpentine giant you've whipped through Victory Road, its rocky coils grinding stone to dust. The National Dex whispers of Steelix, a colossus armoured in gleaming metal, eyes burning with industrial fury. Hunt down a metal coat from the rocket dens you've raided on 5 Island, trade it away under the tropical palms, and it returns transformed. Thicker, deadlier, a preview of Johto's steel-clad evolutions that would one day dominate stadiums. The crunch of its emergence, the screen shaking with weight, sends shivers down your spine, a nod to the forges hidden in distant mountains. Scyther demands your attention next, blades slicing the air with feral precision. You've seen it carve through trainers on Cycling Road, but the National Dex unveils Scyther, a crimson predator, claws pinching like hydraulic vices, steel infused into every fibre. Another metal coat, another trade, and the mantis ascends, its wings buzzing with restrained power. These aren't random additions, they're deliberate ties, pulling Kanto's veterans into Johto's evolutionary web, rewarding your post-game diligence with forms that redefine battles. You scour the Sevi chain, for these catalysts each find a heartbeat of discovery, the island's secrets yielding one evolution at a time. But the National Dex doesn't stop at upgrades. It flings open the gates to Johto's wild heart right here in Kanto's shadow. The Sevi Islands morph into your personal safari zone, pockets of untamed wilderness, teeming with species that once demanded a boat to Johto. Wander the sun-baked trails of 6 Islands berry forest, where clusters of sweet fruit lure hoppip drifting on breezes, their cotton puffs glowing like fireflies at dusk. Dive into the water labyrinth's twisting pools on 3 Island, where Totodile snaps at shadows, its jaws promising the starter spark of a far-off professor's lab. Chikorita rustles in the underbrush of 2 Islands' hidden groves, leaf cloaking it until your Pokeball claims its gentle resilience. Cyndaquil flickers in the volcanic fringes, flames dancing like embers from Johto's peaks, while Quilava prowls boulder paths, testing your team with bursts of heat. These aren't sparse encounters. The islands pulse with Johto life, from Sentret's vigilant stands in grassy knolls to Girafarig's psychic gaze, piercing the fog of Icefall Cave. Legendaries tease their presence too, Deoxy's alien form pulsing on Birth Island sands, a cosmic anomaly unlocked only after your deepest quests. It's as if the Sevi chain, these forgotten atolls, were always meant as Kanto's gateway. A safari expanse where you net Johto's finest without ever leaving the archipelago. The thrill builds with every capture, your box filling with accents from Goldenrod's fields and Ecrutake's mists, the National Dex cataloguing them in crisp detail, entries drawn from Silver's own journeys. Deeper still lie the hidden veins, like Artisan Cave on 7 Island, a shadowed gallery carved by time and tide. Step inside, and the air thickens with the scent of wet stone and fresh paint, smeargle everywhere, brushes dripping as they tag the walls in chaotic murals. These painterly Pokémon, natives of Johto's artist enclaves, trade their sketch moves in bursts of colour, copying your ace's arsenal mid-battle. Catch one, and you've got a canvas for custom builds, a move thief that turns the meta on its head. Venture further into the cave's recesses, and rarer shadows stir, species like Miltank grazing ethereal meadows, or Stantler weaving illusions in the gloom, their antlers branching like ancient trees. Other concealed spots beckon across the islands, the lost caves echoing voids on 5 Island, where luminous Wobbuffet pulse like bioluminescent jellyfish, or iceful caves frozen labyrinths hiding Delibird with their perpetual pouches of frosted treats. These aren't mere side paths, they're lore-rich hideaways, integrating Johto's oddities into Kanto's fabric. The national decks illuminating evolutions and catches that make your champion run feel eternally fresh. Hours dissolve as you chart them, the waves lapping outside, your team swelling with hybrids no original red player could dream. As these Johto threads weave tighter into your Kanto tapestry, whispers grow of greater pursuit stirring in the wilds, chasing the elusive trails of the legendary dogs in Chapter 14. The hunt for the legendary dogs, where radio echoes from Rocket's Fall lead to beasts that rage across the horizon. I hope you're as amazed by this as I am. If you want to stay updated on more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Trust me, what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew. With the National Pokedex now cataloguing those hard-won evolutions, Scyther slicing into Sizer, Gloom blooming into Bellossom, Onyx hardening into Steelix, you feel Kanto expanding, its borders blurring with Johto's wild heart. But then, a whisper from Akritake City's charred ruins reaches across the sea, pulling 3 ancient guardians into your path. Jexai, your starter Pokémon, that very first choice from Professor Oak's lab, determines which one awakens to roam these familiar routes. Picture the moment you step back into the Pokémon Center after chasing your latest trade evolution. The radio crackles faintly, and Elm's voice from New Barktown filters through, tying the threads. In FireRed and LeafGreen, this isn't just a nod to gold and silver. It's a deliberate bleed of Johto's darkest legend into Kanto's post-game triumph. The burned tower, that skeletal spire in Akritake, where careless humans sparked a blaze centuries ago, trapping 3 unnamed beasts in flames. Their spirits rose, purified by Ho-Oh's rainbow wings. Reborn as Entei the volcano dog, Raikou the thunderclap, and Suicune the north wind. That fire's echo now haunts Kanto's mainland. Triggered by your national Pokedex upgrade and the Sevi Islands closure, depending on the partner you picked in Pallet Town, one of these titans breaks free to prowl unpredictably. Chose Charmander, that flickering flame? Entei erupts onto the scene, its volcanic mane billowing like molten rock, sprinting across grassy plains, from Route 4 to the outskirts of Cerulean. Picked Squirtle, the steadfast shell? Suicune materializes, its crystalline fur shimmering like aurora over water, dashing through the shadows of Route 23 near the Pokémon League. And if Bulbasaur was your bond, Raikou crackles to life, electric fur sparking storms, as it bolts from Fuchsia City's safari fringes to Viridian Forest's depths. This mechanic isn't random, it's poetic justice from Game Freak. Your starter summoning the beast that mirrors its essence, or perhaps challenges it, weaving personal choice into legendary fate. These aren't stationary gods like Zapdos perched on jagged cliffs. No, the hunt demands you scour Kanto's every corner, a test of patience amid the post-game haze. They roam relentlessly, popping up on your town map as fleeting icons, only to vanish the instant you approach, unless you time it perfectly. Block their path with a swift Pokémon on your lead, or they'll flee like smoke, hearts pulsing at full strength, mocking your Pokeballs. The mainland becomes your arena. Imagine pedaling furiously down Cycling Road, Repel warding off wild Rattata, eyes glued to the Game Boy screen for that telltale flash. Fail to weaken them just right, and they bolt again, perhaps resurfacing hours later on a foggy Route 12 pier where fishermen swap tales of phantom beasts. The challenge sharpens every sense. Master Balls are precious, saved from Silph Company or Team Rocket's downfall, but wasting one on a fleeing shadow stings. Instead, you lay a strategy, paralyze with a Thunder Wave from your Jolton, or slap on Hypnosis from a Butterfree, all while battling the flea timer that ticks mercilessly. Kanto's routes transform, once tame paths from Pallet to Saffron now pulse with urgency. Route 8's urban edge, where Chansey roam, might hide Raiku's electric burst. Vermilion's coast could summon Suicune's watery gale. Players traded tips in forums back in 2004, mapping spawn patterns, cursing the random number gods when a storm scatters your hunt. Yet that frustration binds you closer to the lore, feeling the beast's restless spirits, forever wandering after their fiery rebirth. This intrusion carries deeper symbolism, linking Ho-Oh's resurrection to Kanto's own scarred history. Think of the region's towers, Saffron's psychic spire invaded by rocket grunts, Pokemon Tower's ghostly marrows disturbed by reanimation gone wrong. The burned tower's tragedy mirrors those echoes of hubris, humans tampering with nature's fury. Ho-Oh, that radiant phoenix atop Bell Tower's heights, embodies renewal, much like how FireRed and LeafGreen revive Kanto itself. Flawed Gen 1 glitches burned away, replaced by gleaming Gen 3 polish. Your roaming dog embodies that cycle, born from destruction, roaming eternally, a guardian spirit now gracing the champion's homeland. Capturing it doesn't end the roam, it seals a bond, your Pokedex entry pulsing with Johto's untranslated whispers. First rendered in English here from the original green version files. Hours melt into nights as you track footprints in the dust of Route 16, or scan the horizon from Lavender Town's ledges, the beast's cries haunting your speakers. Success hits like lightning. Suicune finally yields on a rain-slicked path, its pure stream aura calming as the Pokeball clicks shut. You've not just caught a legend, you've drawn Johto's fire across the waves, making Kanto's postgame a living bridge between generations. That thrill lingers, the mainland forever marked by paw prints only you chased. And as one beast joins your team, its power humming alongside Mewtwo's distant shadow, the cave beneath Cerulean City calls louder than ever. In the next chapter, Cerulean Cave and the ultimate life form, you'll descend into depths that test even a champion's resolve, where psychic storms swirl around a creation that redefines life itself. With the legendary dogs still roaming Kanto's wilds, like echoes of Johto's ancient tragedy, your triumph as champion finally parts the veil on a place long whispered about in hushed tones by Cerulean City's locals. That hidden moor beneath the northern cape, guarded by an impassable officer until you've etched your name into the Hall of Fame. Cerulean Cave beckons only the true elite. You step inside, the air turning thick and cool, laced with the drip of unseen water and the faint, electric hum of something profoundly unnatural. This isn't just any cavern, it's a labyrinth carved by time and tide, its twisting passages defying easy navigation. You're filled with the region's toughest wild Pokémon, Alakazam warping reality with psychic blasts, Rhydon shattering rock with seismic fury. Flashlights flicker against walls slick with moisture, and every shadow hides a potential ambush, demanding your strongest team, stocked potions, and unyielding focus. Deeper you press, past chambers where the floor gives way to precarious ledges and swirling currents, until the path narrows to a single, foreboding chamber at the heart of the earth. There, suspended in a psychic aura that bends light itself, awaits Mewtwo, the ultimate life form, born not of nature's whim, but from humanity's hubris, in the shadowed labs of the Pokémon Mansion, on Cinnabar Island. In FireRed and LeafGreen, this remake elevates the original's legend to its rightful terror. A clone engineered from the ancient DNA of Mewtwo, the mythical ancestor of all Pokémon, amplified 1,000-fold into a being of raw, unparalleled power. Your screen pulses as the battle erupts, Mewtwo's 74-level presence towering over the fray, its sleek, armoured form glowing with violet energy that promises devastation. Feel the weight of that first recovery beam, draining your lead Pokémon's life in an instant, or the devastating psychic waves that crumple steel types like paper. Mewtwo doesn't just fight, it dominates, a symphony of barrier shields repelling assaults, swift stars homing in unerringly, and self-destruct as a final cataclysmic spite if cornered wrong. This is the pinnacle of genetic engineering laid bare, the remake's genius in preserving Generation 1's raw challenge while layering in modern depth, like Mewtwo's pressure ability sapping your PP with every turn, forcing you to adapt or perish. Turn to its Pokedex entries and the tragedy unfolds in chilling detail. FireRed calls it the Pokémon that became too powerful even for its creator to control, a super clone whose birth shook the foundations of science. LeafGreen echoes this. Its DNA is almost identical to Mew's, yet its size and disposition are far different. Created in the Cinnabar labs by a scientist driven mad with ambition, Mewtwo was designed as perfection incarnate, immense psychic strength, rapid regeneration, an intellect that borders on godlike sentience. Yet perfection came at a cost. It's described across entries as heartless, a creature devoid of the warmth that binds Pokémon to trainers, wandering solitary in caves like this one, yet shunning bonds for its overwhelming solitude. That heartlessness defines it. No loyalty born of wild encounters or evolutions, just cold supremacy. In the anime's shadows and manga's depths, Mewtwo grapples with its cloned existence, rejecting humanity after betrayal. But here in the games, it's pure confrontation, a test of your mastery against a being engineered to eclipse all others. Bag full of Ultra Balls, weakened just enough without fainting, the capture animation spins like a rite of passage, the strongest Pokémon in Kanto, statistically unmatched at base stats, totaling 480, now yours to command. Securing Mewtwo marks the final act of a true master in FireRed and LeafGreen. You've conquered the badges, dismantled Team Rocket, charted the Sevi Islands, chased roamers across the map, and now claimed the ultimate prize. It's the remake's crowning post-game flourish, transforming the sparse original ending into a saga of completion, where your box fills with legends, evolutions unlock via the national Pokedex, and Kanto feels utterly conquered. No greater validation exists. Mewtwo on your team silences any doubt, a living testament to your journey from Pallet Town kid to undisputed ruler. But as the cave's echoes fade and you emerge into Cerulean's starlit night, one more revolution stirs on the horizon in these remakes. Chapter 16, The Wireless Revolution, where Kanto connects in ways that redefine friendship and rivalry forever. With Mewtwo's psychic roar still echoing in the depths of Cerulean Cave, you emerge victorious, your team battered but unbreakable, the ultimate life form now yours to command. But as the cave's shadows fade behind you, a new pulse stirs in your Game Boy Advance, not from Kanto's wilds, but from the invisible waves connecting players across the world. Every single copy of FireRed and LeafGreen came bundled with the GBA wireless adapter, a sleek golden cartridge that plugged into the top of your handheld, transforming solitary adventures into shared triumphs. This wasn't just an accessory, it marked a seismic shift in how Pokémon worlds intertwined. Before FireRed and LeafGreen, battles and trades demanded tangled link cables, those stubborn cords snaking between consoles, prone to fraying and frustration during marathon sessions. You'd huddle around a table, controllers clipped together, hearts racing as Pikachu faced off against a friend's Charizard. But the wireless adapter severed those physical bonds forever. As she slotted in place, it unleashed her invisible network up to 40 feet wide, letting up to 5 players link up without a single wire. Imagine the liberation. No more yanking cables mid-battle. No more dim rooms lit only by Game Boy screens. Kids in bedrooms, parks, even classrooms could now sync their games effortlessly, their Pokémon crossing regions in a blink. FireRed and LeafGreen didn't stop at wireless battles or trades. They birthed the Union Room, a digital lounge pulsing with potential. Step into one on any island, from the bustling lobby of one island to the serene shores of 7, and you'd find a spacious chamber bathed in soft blue light, 4 glowing pads arranged in a diamond at its heart. Up to 5 trainers could gather here, avatars bobbing gently as they chatted through simple icons. Hearts for affection, exclamation points for challenges. This was social Pokémon interaction at its purest, long before online lobbies or friend codes cluttered the experience. You'd wander the Union Room's ethereal space, spotting a stranger's Alakazam or a rival's fresh-caught Mewtwo, then challenge them to a spontaneous showdown. Victories earned cheers from onlookers, defeats sparked rematches, and trades flowed freely. Your spare Bellsprout for their rare Larvitar, sealing deals with a wireless handshake. What made the Union Room revolutionary was its seamlessness, woven into Kanto's fabric without disrupting the lone wolf journey. After thwarting Team Rocket on the Sevi Islands or chasing the legendary dogs across the mainland, you'd retreat here to unwind, sharing war stories through battles that felt alive with human spark. No menus to navigate, no passwords to exchange, just pure cable-free connection. Players formed unspoken alliances, rotating teams in tag battles, where 2 trainers pooled their Pokémon against another pair, strategies unfolding in real time. A well-timed thunderbolt from your Jolteon syncing with an ally's surf, overwhelming foes in a cascade of sparks and waves. It turned every FireRed and LeafGreen cartridge into a social hub, pioneering the multiplayer heart that would beat through future generations. This wireless dawn spelled the end for the link cable era, a relic of Game Boy's wired past consigned to dusty drawers. FireRed and LeafGreen bridged generations literally. Your GBA still compatible with original red and blue via cable for nostalgic trades, but the adapter pointed forward. It foreshadowed Diamond and Pearl's global wireless trades, Heart Gold and Soul Silver's Pokewalker syncs, even the Nintendo Switch's seamless online battles. Developers at Game Freak had watched Ruby and Sapphire's local wireless experiments, but bundling the adapter with every remake copy democratized it. Over 1 million units shipped worldwide by the North American launch in September of 2004, each one a gateway to collective play. Parents marveled at kids coordinating park meetups without phones, friends sustaining rivalries across continents through traded shinies. Yet the adapter's true sorcery lay in Mystery Gift, a feature unlocked via special radio signals broadcast at real-world events. Tune your wireless adapter to the right frequency, often announced through Nintendo Power magazines or local Pokémon centers, and ethereal chimes would signal incoming data. A spectral Celebi might materialize on your screen, or the elusive Deoxys, its alien form twisting through space from distant Hoenn labs. These weren't random encounters, they tied directly to FireRed and LeafGreen's lore. Deoxys, born from a meteor's cosmic mutation, arrived as an event-exclusive prize, its shifting forms demanding wireless prowess to catch and master. Players flocked to Pokémon festivals in 2004 and 2005, adapters glowing as Nintendo vans broadcast signals, granting gems like the Aurora ticket for Southern Island jaunts where Deoxys awaited. Mystery Gift wove event Pokémon into Kanto's tapestry, like the old sea map, leading to Lugia and Ho-Oh's hidden nests, or Deoxys patrolling Birth Island's crystalline shores. You'd insert the adapter, hold your GBA skyward during a live demo at a GameStop, and feel the thrill as data streamed in, a virtual ticket punched for legendaries unattainable otherwise. This system rewarded community, turning solitary champions into participants in a global saga. Deoxys became a badge of honor, traded in union rooms where whispers of a Nintendo event sparked envy and alliances. It extended post-game infinity. After Mewtwo's capture, your decks filled with these wireless phantoms, teams evolving from Kanto staples to interstellar squads. Through it all, the wireless adapter embodied FireRed and LeafGreen's genius, modernizing connection without erasing roots. Battles crackled with static anticipation. Trades whispered promises of stronger bonds. Union rooms hummed with unspoken friendships. You could feel the future humming in that golden slot. Kanto's remakes not just preserving the past, but wirelessly propelling Pokémon into tomorrow. As these invisible links redefine how we chase completion across Kanto's horizons, the true measure of FireRed and LeafGreen's brilliance comes into sharper focus. Join me next in Chapter 17, Setting the Standard for Remakes, where we uncover how these titles didn't just fix the originals, they scripted the blueprint every future remake would chase. That wireless revolution in FireRed and LeafGreen didn't just connect players across rooms or cities, it connected the past to the future of Pokémon remakes, laying down a blueprint so precise that every major remake since has chased its shadow. Think about it. When Game Freak sat down to revisit Kanto after Ruby and Sapphire had reshaped the series with double battles and contests, they could have torn it all apart. They could have redrawn every route, reshuffled every town, injected wild new stories that bent the original lore out of recognition. But they didn't. Instead, they chose enhancement over outright alteration, a philosophy that whispered, keep the soul intact, just polish the rough edges until they gleamed. The Kanto map you knew from your Game Boy days stayed exactly as it was. Pallet Town's quiet grass patches, Viridian Forest's tangled webs of vines, the sprawling Cerulean City gym with its watery maze. No radical overhauls, no relocated landmarks. They layered in depth where it mattered. A running shoes toggle to sprint through those familiar paths without the old grind. A versus seeker to hunt rematches with trainers who'd grown stronger in your absence. And a journal that etched your journey into pixels. Yeah, turning fleeting adventures into something you could relive. This wasn't reckless innovation, it was reverence wrapped in progress. FireRed and LeafGreen captured that raw Gen 1 essence. The thrill of discovering a Pidgey fluttering in tall grass. The tension of Brock's boulder puzzle. The electric hum of Vermilion's gym. While excising the frustrations that had haunted the originals. Remember the missing no glitch that could corrupt your save file? Or trades that demanded perfect timing across glitchy cables? Gone. The infamous warp tiles in Saffron City that stranded you in limbo? Fixed. Even the Pokémon themselves felt truer. Abilities like Blaze igniting Charizard's final stand. Nature's tilting the odds in subtle ways that rewarded attention, without overwhelming the simple joy of catching them all. Your Steel types shrugged off your prized Magnemite's thunderbolts. Dark moves pierced the ghosts of Lavender Tower, and evolutions streamlined. No more tedious level grinds for trades that half the players couldn't pull off. You still felt like that kid from Pallet Town, badge case filling up one by one, but now the world bent to make your triumphs feel earned, not escaped. And this blueprint, it echoed straight into Heart Gold and Soul Silver, those golden remakes of Gold and Silver that dropped 5 years later. Johto's map remained sacred, New Barktown's salty sea breeze, the foggy routes twisting toward Violet City, no flattening for modernity's sake. They added their own depths, the Pokegear radio crackling with hints, the ability to ride your own Pokémon across land and sea, post-game Kanto unlocked just like Sevi had been. But where Heart Gold and Soul Silver built on the formula, FireRed and LeafGreen invented it. They proved you could bottle nostalgia and spike it with relevance, keeping the heart pounding from the first rival battle to the Elite Four's unyielding gauntlet. Later remakes like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire nodded too, preserving Hoenn's island chains while weaving in Delta episode flights of fancy. But even they leaned on that core tenet: evolve the gameplay, honour the geography. Nowhere did this shine brighter than in the Sevi Islands, that shimmering post-game archipelago that became the gold standard for what comes after the credits roll. Beat the champion, hand oak your Pokedex triumph, and suddenly one island's sleepy Kindle Road opens up, Ember Spar's steam rising as you chase clues to lost gems. Two islands' sleepy joyful game corner hides Rocket Whispers, three islands' berry forest tempts with hidden groves ripe for exploration. You dive into quests that feel organic, snagging Ruby and Sapphire orbs to summon new legends. Dismantling Team Rocket's radio tower scheme on 5 Island before it forces evolutions on wild Pokémon, trading for that elusive Smeargle in the depths of Artisan Cave. Johto natives roam free, a Growlithe pack on Kindle Road, Electabuzz sparking in Icefall Cave, even legendaries like Deoxys teasing the horizon. It's not tacked on filler, it's Kanto extended, a reward that doubles your world without diluting the origin. Heart Gold and Soul Silver mirrored this with their Kanto redux, battling Lance on a mountaintop, surfing to Cinnabar's reborn volcano. But Sevi set the bar, a proving postgame could pulse with story, secrets, and that addictive hunt for completion. Game Freak's gamble paid off because they understood the alchemy. Strip away the Gen 1 grit, the unbalanced wild encounters where everything fled or one-shot you, the sound design that grated after hours, the monochrome haze that hid details, and what remains is pure Pokémon magic. FireRed and LeafGreen bottled it for the Game Boy Advance era, with visuals that popped in colour yet evoked those original sprites, soundtracks that remixed the classics into symphonies of memory. Players traded across generations, linking to Emerald or Colosseum, their Kanto teams mingling with Hoenn powerhouses. No upper version sequel needed, this was the definitive Kanto, accessible via backward compatibility cables that let old save files dance with the new. That legacy ripples even now into ports whispered for the Switch, anniversary celebrations marking 30 years since Red and Green lit the spark. FireRed and LeafGreen didn't just remake a game, they remade remakes themselves, teaching the series that true perfection lies in lifting the familiar higher, not replacing it. As we drift toward the timelessness of Kanto itself, you'll see how this enhanced blueprint ensured the region never fades, only deepens with every revisit. That careful balance of enhancement over alteration didn't just set a blueprint for future remakes. It etched FireRed and LeafGreen into the hearts of trainers worldwide, drawing them back time and again, even 20 years after their release. You feel it the moment you boot up the game on your old Game Boy Advance. The familiar chime of Pallet Town pulling you in like a long-lost friend. Why do we return? It's not mere nostalgia for pixelated routes and badge cases half filled with dreams. No, it's the way these remakes captured Kanto's essence at its purest, polishing every rough edge of the originals without erasing a single footprint on that winding path from Oak's Lab to the Indigo Plateau. Think of the glitches that plagued Red and Blue, the missing textures in Saffron City, the infamous freeze in the Pokémon Tower, trades that vanished into digital ether. FireRed and LeafGreen swept those away, replacing them with the smooth rhythm of Generation 3 mechanics. Abilities that turn a timid Rattata into a cunning foe, natures that whisper subtle strengths into your team, Dark and Steel types reshaping battles you thought you knew by heart. Yet the map stays sacred, Viridian Forest's rustling leaves, the salty spray of Vermilion's docks, Cerulean Cave's echoing depths, all unchanged, inviting you to rediscover them with eyes sharpened by time. Players drift back because Kanto here feels alive in ways the originals only hinted at. The Sevi Islands unfold post-game like hidden chapters in a favourite book, their tropical shores hiding ruby and sapphire gems that bridge worlds. Team Rocket's lingering schemes that demand one last stand. You chase the legendary beasts across Kanto's windswept plains. There roams a pulse of Johto's ancient fires, bleeding into this familiar land. And Mewtwo waits in Cerulean Cave, not as a glitchy spectre, but a symphony of psychic fury, the ultimate testament to human ambition. Run wild. 20 years on, from that September 9th, 2004 North American launch, and these games haven't faded, they've deepened. Speedrunners shave seconds off glitchless records, collectors hunt shiny Sevi exclusives under the wireless adapter's glow, and new trainers discover Kanto through emulators or dusty cartridges, whispering, "This is how it was meant to be." The wireless revolution of those union rooms lingers too, fostering bonds across continents that no online service has fully replicated. Now picture the buzz rippling through the community just this year. Nintendo's announcement of a Nintendo Switch port for FireRed, landing February 27th as part of Pokemon's 30th anniversary celebration. It's no coincidence, 30 years since Red and Green sparked a global phenomenon in Japan, and Kanto endures as the cradle, its remakes the gold standard. Its sales charts spike, forums light up with theories on modern tweaks. Will natures persist? Sevi intact? Proving this region's pull transcends hardware, generations, even time itself. What makes these versions the definitive way to taste Kanto's story? They honour the silent journey of the protagonist, rising from Pallet Town's quiet meadows. Through gym battles that test not just strength, but cunning. Surge the power plant to wake Zapdos. Unravel Rocket's grip on Silph Co. Outmaneuver Blue's relentless rivalry at every turn. No heavy rewrites, just elevations. Pokedex entries finally translating Green's untouched lore into English. Post-game quests weaving in Johto's shadows without overshadowing Indigo's triumph. You climb Victory Road's jagged cliffs, hearts steady from badges earned in sweat and strategy. Face the Elite Four in their shadowed arena. Lorelei's icy glares, Bruno's raw might, Agatha's ghostly whispers, Lance's draconic roar, each a pillar of legend. Champion at last, the Hall of Fame scrolls your team into eternity. Professor Oak's proud nod sealing the loop back to Pallet. And there, in that peaceful conclusion, lies the timeless magic. Your Pokémon rest, the world exhales. From a rival's taunt in the lab to this serene hall, Kanto's arc completes not with fanfare, but quiet fulfillment. A story so perfectly remade, it beckons you home, again and again, ready for one more adventure under those eternal stars. What did you think of this journey? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If this changed your perspective or taught you something new, consider subscribing for more mind-expanding content. And if you know someone who would find this as fascinating as you did, share it with them. These are the kind of conversations that matter.